if it wasn't fixed immediately, she would get beat down worse than what he had already done. So later that evening at the salon where I had a private room, she stumbled in with blood oozing out of her scalp where I had previously sewn the tracks. Dried up blood was all over her very light blonde hair. And thank God for those latex gloves that I always keep in my drawer. On top of that, I had to bleach her black roots blonde, which was the reason she got beat in the first place. When I initially did the extensions, she didn't want color. She said she would let it go for a couple more weeks. Well, when her man saw it, he was upset because he gave her enough money to get the color service done. And since it wasn't done, he felt like she was out of pocket for not using the money for what he told her to use it for. I mean, seriously, it wasn't that noticeable. In my opinion, it didn't matter what he beat her for this time, because it was always some random reason he was knocking the hell out of her. It was his normal routine. But this time was probably the most brutal damage. I have seen her regularly mess the hell up for over 5 years. I felt as mentally abused as she felt physically abused to have to put that hair color close to her draining scalp. I sat there with her while she cried from the pain of it burning from her ripped up scalp, as well as the emotional pain she was obviously suffering. So much blood had dried up in her hair that I couldn't even get it all out. Even though I was using gloves and frequently changing to new ones, I wasn't trying to get no blood or fluids on me. I mean, who knows what she had? She was a hooker, and a proud one at that. He had ripped so many tracks from her scalp, I only took out the ones that were hanging onto her hair, bonded them with hair glue to her head while I cried with her. I tried to lift her spirits with a little prayer and told her how to move out of this country, change her hair color, and leave this crazy life. I had told her so many times to leave and tried to give her numbers and options of what she could do. But after a couple of years went by, I realized that she had some kind of sick fascination with his demoralization of her. Apparently, she was satisfied with his beatings. She always had a million excuses why it happened that time, like, I know to never talk to him before he smokes a blunt. I knew what I was saying was backfiring. I didn't want to have to deal with him one day because she was totally down for him. So I finally learned. I told her to just keep her mouth closed and do what he says so that she can live. But that night, it was different to me. And it was the last time I saw her alive. And I would say my clients were always I was very close to my clients. And they were probably very close to me. And I was always invited to hang out with them, go places, do things, be at their backyard barbecue parties and weddings, funerals, and everything in between. So I got to know my clients really well over these past 20 years. And this particular book is about young women who need a voice and deserve to have their stories heard. I wrote this book for a young woman who may be having problems in her home with her family. She wants that Hollywood dream, or beautiful dreams out there of getting everything, and predators seek that. And they come in and swoop these young girls, young women out of their homes and wine and dine them. They look amazing, they do amazing things, they have quote unquote amazing friends around who all look like they're just, having a great time. And 3 months later, she on a underground human trafficking railroad. So yes, Confessions of a Las Vegas Hairstylist is very graphic. It is real and raw. It's from the streets. I'm from the streets. So I'm giving it to you like that. I hope you enjoy it. Peace.